Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast. And before we get started, instead of talking about the VIP results, I'm going to quickly plug in my sort of discount that I'm running at the moment, which is a 50% discount on Lifetime. What you get in Lifetime is you get access to the Gold US 30 channel, your VIP group, where you have obviously a Gold specific VIP group, a US 31, and then you also get access to my strategy, which I'm currently in progress. I'm working on trying to make it perfect so it's sort of repeatable in these changing markets, and also one-to-one sort of mentorship with myself as well. So if you have any issues in terms of sort of risk management and want to sort of get out of the cycle and had to sort of switch your mindset into a sort of repeatable process that can work in terms of unfunded accounts, on normal accounts, and how to sort of control your psychology, then get in on this Lifetime deal. The link is in the free channel here. I'll be putting it in the description of this YouTube video as well, and it's only available till Sunday, so which is today on the time we upload this video. I may leave it open for tomorrow as well on Monday, just for that one extra day as well. But yeah, my sort of I'm gonna leave my in the free channel. You can get into contact here. It's at AlwaysFX. If you click there, you can message me if you have any questions or you want to get involved. I can still open it up for you. But that's pretty much it. But we all know why we're sort of here today on this breakdown, because the main breakdown was to break down this trade right here. So you can see here, this is what we were expecting on GDP for prices to sort of push back into this 4-hour fair value gap in order to push up. Our main target was the all-time high. We ended up getting in right here, and I'm going to be explaining how I got in, why I got in there, what was I looking for, why was I buying, why wasn't I selling, and then sort of explain what happened to this trade, because this trade was quite, it did end up pushing quite high. Obviously took TP1, TP2 out, so we ended up bagging some of our profits, and then explaining what ended up happening and why price ended up falling towards the end of the week. So let's get straight into that. So if we go into our chart here and we have a look at where we ended up taking our trade, it was this trade right here. So we ended up catching a nice big move from this level down here. I'm taking it all the way up to this buy side liquidity. But you can see what happened is price failed to push above this sort of previous high and above this. Doesn't mean that it's not going to do it. It just means that price is just trying to tell us that it's not ready yet. It's kind of build this up and then it's sort of moving down now, which then tells us that yeah, it may not do this just yet. But let's quickly break down on why we ended up taking this trade and what were we looking for at the time. So if you sort of make price sort of go away onto to the right here, and we can see what price looked like before this trade was happening, before this sort of was playing out. You can see that we had a high on the left here. Price ended up giving us a nice pullback and then came back up, took out these sort of highs and left this high here. That then price then ended up pushing back up, taking out this high, but then failed to take this out. So at this point, we were looking for price to come back, clear these lows, and potentially give us a nice retracement from this high here. So I was looking for price to sort of, as you can see, price ended up pushing up here. We're looking for price to give us a nice 50% retracement, and then in order to get in, which it did that. So price did come back into this 50% area. I was looking for price to come a little lower, so I missed this trade. Then price ended up pushing up. So we then wait for that sort of confirmation. So price ended up pushing up, and now we look for areas we can look to re-enter. Okay, so let me just undo that and just clear up some lines so you guys can see. So our area to enter is in this 1 hour fair value gap, which we have right here, which is marked by the purple box, right? If I also get another fib out and do the same thing again from this high to there, the high was right there at the moment. You can see that price was also retracing back into the 50%, right? So that's another sort of confirmation right there where you're getting into a discount price, so the probability is a little higher as well. And then if we also go down onto the 5-minute time frame and then look what this box is right here. I've got it noted as OG, another word that basically abbreviates to it was opening gap. So you can see right here the daily opening left a gap here and price pushed straight up. Notice how price came straight back down into this opening gap, and that's when price started to reverse. So that's what gave me that sort of indication that, right, I'm going to start getting into the buy here, because we have prices now cleared the low. So on a higher time frame, if you go to the 4 hour, for example, you can see that 4 hour time frame price pushed down, and that was your initial 50% retracement here. So this is a higher time frame they've got into the buy here, and this sort of pushes up, trying to say that, right, I'm now giving that bullish pressure. If you want to retest, let's go for it. Take out the early buyers, and then we're going to make our main move towards the upside. So if we just refresh back there, one thing to note is the 4 hour fair value gap as well. This is what gave me another confirmation. Notice how this is a 4 hour fair value gap right here. Notice how these bodies touched here, pushed up. If price wanted to take out the all-time high, it would have done so here, but no, it wanted to pull down further. So this box is still valid. This fair value gap box is only invalidated if the bodies, the candle bodies, close below. Let me force quit this. If the candle bodies close below the fair value gap, so I'm going to drag it across here. Have the bodies close below it? No, we've got it in the middle here. Have these bodies close below? No, but you can see the wicks have, and that's what the wicks tend to do. They tend to paint a picture that price wants to go down and push down, but then if you look at where they're closed, the bodies will tell the story. The wicks just do the damage. They take out stop losses, they do the hunts. That's what the wicks are there for. But you can see the bodies are still within this 4 hour fair value gap. And once I saw that, and I was like, wow, this is going to be used as bullish support. I'm not expecting for price to push below these lows right here. You want these lows to stay intact and price to just retest this area. So with that in mind, we have a 4 hour fair value gap retest again right here. So you can see price tapped into it again with the opening gap rejected. And this is, we're going to get to the good stuff here. So if you guys are still sort of listening, well done. We're now looking for a reversal, and the only way we do that is by finding a structure break. If you guys know what a structure break is, quite simple. You want to see price push lower. So we have your news here, right here. This is your news spike. Your news is right here, push down, price push down again. A lot of people started buying in this area, but you notice we still had this opening gap, which is this box down here, and look how price reacted in this opening gap. We made a low, a high, a lower low, and once the price pushed back above here, I was then looking for retracements to start entering. So we ended again push up here. I waited for a retracement back down towards this area here, which retested these broken highs here, and then this is where we end up getting into our buy. And then with this entry right here, a stop loss was below this previous low. Why was it below this low? Why am I not expecting price not to break this low? Is because we have opening gap as well. So price can come a little lower if it wanted to, because we have some gap. So I'm giving that space. But if price wants to push back below this low, then I'm not interested, because price will continue its push down. So this is my attempt where price, okay, let's go. And then you can see from here, this is your 1-to-1 right there. But my main target was the news high. The reason for that is we have stop losses all sitting above here, and you can see ever since we entered, price climbed, took out that high, and then once after it did that, we target the next highs, which was right here. And there you go, clean trade, price took up, and then once we got that, we were then targeting the all-time high. So then price was up here, that's our target at the top here, and then price ended up giving us retracement overnight. A bit scary, but we took some of our profits, so we were okay. Stop losses at entry, and you can see that price tried again, gave us a little tracer, and this is where we were trying to buy again, because we were looking, this is on Friday by the way guys, so you can see here is where we were looking for a potential continuation. Price took out these lows here, right here, so this is where I sent it on the free channel saying attempt to one buy, daily low sweep, same SL. So it's always good to have an SL, because even though the daily low was swept, we bought from here, price did push up, say 20-30 pips, and then price came all the way back down. This was my stop loss, because if this is broken, look what happened to price. It continued going lower. And this is why we have stop losses, because it tells us that, yo, your idea is incorrect. You don't want to still be in that trade, right? And that's why I use stop losses all the time, and I use them quite not always strict, but because sometimes it could just spike and come back down. But I use them strict in terms of, because I'm running a sort of signals group and you want everyone to be on the same page. Sometimes brokers are different, sometimes people get slipped, sometimes people don't, but then you want to keep it as consistent as possible when you're sort of sending out these sort of trade ideas, and that's what I tend to do. But that's pretty much the breakdown, and that's what was going through my mind while I was trying to take that trade. Bit of a shame that price did not take out the all-time high there, but you can see here in terms of what the bodies do. I'm trying to sort of get this across. When a lot of people use fair value gaps all the time, a lot of people use that, but then they don't look at where the bodies are. To see price pushing below, be like, oh no, this is going to sort of flip the fair value gap, but have the bodies closed. Look at this 4-hour fair value gap on the hour time frame. Yeah, I know this is a bit of a mismatch, but it looks like the bodies are closed below, right? But if you looked on the specific time frame, you found this fair value gap, because this is a 1-hour fair value gap as well. Right, the same box can also be a 1-hour fair value gap, because look, here's a fair value gap on the 1 hour. The bodies respected it. This was your 1-hour move. So this initial move was based on the 1-hour time frame, but price came back down. Why? Because the 4-hour time frame needed to be respected as well. And so then when you go on the 4-hour time frame and switch it back to a 4-hour fair value gap, you can see the body's respected again. It tried again. So we gave it enough attempts. Gold, sometimes the market just doesn't want to sort of provide like that. If I go on the 1-hour time frame, we can see that we have a 4-hour one here, but then we also have a 1-hour fair value gap right here. And look how price respected that. Once we end up getting this rejection, right, I noticed that the 1-hour candle was going to close when I entered here. I noticed that the 1-hour candle, this is that 8 a.m. candle, was going to close. I wanted to see price reject and close with inside the box. This is what gives me that confidence that, okay, this trade might be good. It might work out. It might be okay. Once it did close into the box, what did I do? I sent it here. Right there. You can see that the candle just closed inside the box, and then you can see this candle was sort of playing around here. So once I sent it here, this could have been a good area that you guys could potentially enter. Obviously, it's not as perfect an entry as you can get, but that's what the whole difference between VIP and free channel is, because we have people who want to sort of be serious and want to learn with me. You can jump in on that. But I didn't send it on here, and you ended up seeing from that point, we ended up getting a nice 120 push up, a pip push up, and a lot of people looks like they sort of got in as well. So that's my sort of breakdown on this gold trade. US 30, I did have some analysis that I ended up sort of wanted to provide. Obviously this was yesterday's, but we ended up getting this move here. I ended up calling that I wanted price to sort of tap into this area and push up. I ended up missing this move because I was focusing on gold, but hey ho, the analysis was there. So if you guys took it, well done. But now it's time to sort of go into the weekly forecast. So I'm going to remove all of these boxes and start on a clean chart, and then we can go from there. So right here, you can see that there's already a buy zone that's sitting here. What is the significance of this buy zone, and why do we have this buy zone here? First of all, we want to know that these highs eventually will get taken out. No doubt about that. These highs will get taken out. It will either be a swift spike, it will either take a while, but eventually they should be taken out. So if you have stop losses here, just be careful, because price will be coming to collect that, as this is a big liquidity pool that is sitting above here. But when that happens, we don't know. So we've got sell side liquidity right here. It's a double bottom. So this is quite interesting. So I'm going to remove this line here and keep those purple lines there just in case. Right, we have this zone here. If I go on the weekly time frame, we start off on the weekly time frame and we have a look at what's going on. You can see that price is obviously still obviously in a major uptrend, we start pushing up. Created a doji candle in the sort of second last week of August, and we created a sort of indecisive candle as well here on the last week of August. In terms of liquidity, on the weekly time frame, below this previous weekly low is that buy zone I was talking about, because the buy zone is sitting inside a weekly fair value gap right here. So if price wants to sort of tap into this, wants to give us a pullback, tap into this weekly fair value gap, then push up, that could be a potential trade that we could see going into next month. We have last month's open as well, so we could sort of see some sort of retests on that if we ever need to. But for now, because price is sort of giving us that push down, you can see, look, this weekly fair value gap right here, right? It's within this sort of buy zone here. So you want to see what happens below this spike low, because it was a sort of one touch tap in, and then price ended up pushing up, fell to break higher. So you want to see, does price sort of do something like this and then make it to move up like that? That's my little drawing. This is what I look for. This is what goes on in my head. My head's broken. We have a sort of order block right here. You could say it's you could say it's even a break as well. Right from here, and you drag it across. Breaker. A good area. Very good area this is, because it's the previous weekly low. Price could use it as liquidity at the start of the week to push down into this, take out the previous weekly low, then start giving a reversal, right? Because it's the first week of September. We have PMI, JOLTS, PMI again, and then NFP. So a very, very busy week going into next week in terms of fundamentals. So we're going to get some crazy moves. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see price take out these lows. In terms of sort of support, I don't see much here. So I'm not very confident about buying at that area. I'd rather wait for this weekly low to be taken out and then to see a potential buy. Why? Because then price taps into this weekly fair value gap. You have your higher time frame retested. In terms of your daily, let's have a look. Is there anything on the daily? Yep, we do have the daily. Look at this. Actually, no, we don't. It's already been retested. Okay, either way, we still have an order block here. So this whole thing move down here is an order block where price could potentially retest. 4 hour time frame, let's keep dropping down. We have 4 hour fair value gaps in this box as well. So if we move that back, 4 hour, and then obviously you get the idea that if price breaks below 24.70, we could potentially see a reversal where price heads up. And that's only if this is still intact. If price has not pushed above here, if price pushes above here, then I don't care. Price could potentially just melt, right? But it's only if these highs are still intact. The second scenario, what you could get is we could start playing for that one. Obviously, that's your sort of high probability. You want to look for buys below 24.70, high probability, because we are in an uptrend. Price is sort of not breaking any of the major lows at the moment. We have these highs still intact. This is only a retracement to push up. If you use this whole range of August, so if I go from here, we find August's high, August lows right here, August high is here, right? And we mark from August low to August high. You have this as your discount area, right? Price obviously potentially could tap into there because it could use this low here, this swing low. So we have a price moved up, moved down, moved up again, and then sort of consolidating. So this point here I'm going to use as my sort of pivot for my fib right here. So we're going to use this low from here because this is your swing point low to this high. Now you can see that price is already tapped into 50%. Does it want to give us a little deeper retracement into the discount area here to then push up? Could be a possibility. So I'm going to see what happens where price it wants to use its sort of discount area, because price still hasn't tapped in. So if you mark the whole of August, so there's your August low, and this is the high of August. So this monthly candle, if you look at the monthly candle here, we have a look at it. Let's get this back into the middle. you can see that this monthly candle here, price could retrace into this monthly candle again, and then give us another push up and create the bottom of the wick. So whenever you sort of see monthly candles like this, you can see that at the start it will sort of push back down, right? It will look like a bearish candle, so this will potentially be red or white, obviously in my chart. I'm not going to color it because you guys get an idea. But if once it starts sort of moving up, right, like this, and then flips, what will it leave? It will leave a wick at the bottom, and then this will then become a bullish candle. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a start of the month sort of push down. So we're looking for a bearish start of the month here. If we can get that, that would be fantastic. And then price could potentially give us that bullish end towards the month. So at the start of September, you want to see price push down, clean up all of this, retrace back into these discount areas, give us a sort of consolidation reversal, and then for price to come back and attack these highs. That's pretty much it in terms of the weekly forecast. That's all I have to say. If things start changing over the weeks, I will update you and say that, what I said last week was incorrect, or we'll just update you on the free channel. The link is in the description, guys. I say this time and time again. Link is in the description for the free channel, for the lifetime deal, 50% off. Be sure to get in on that, guys, because you guys can follow my journey and stay a part of my team for life. If you think about it, whoever dies first, it's kind of bleak, but anyway. Yeah, so that's pretty much it from this video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, it's been Awais FX. Peace out.